straight from the realm of all things gaming. Everything Noob starts now.
Episode 130, the Everything Noob podcast. I'm Vortak, joined by Mr. Dreadlow, Miss Jemmy.
Yay, we're all back.
What's up?
Yay,
Yeah.
It's all three of us now.
Yeah.
Well, I have a half a voice, kind of.
We are
Half a dreadlow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two and a half of us tonight. We are gamers and streamers of the sort, and every week we bring you this podcast. This would be number 130, and tonight we're kind of sitting down. Last week we took a break. I was moving, and I think one of you guys was sick. Something was going on.
I was sick.
Yeah.
Or she was sick last week, but I was still kind of like, my voice was like really bad. It's still kind of bad. And then the week before that, I was sick. So I've been sick for like 2 weeks. 3 weeks
Ew.
almost.
Did you get the
It's been
summertime
bad.
flu?
Oh, it was bad. Yeah. I had everything, chest, sinuses, the whole thing.
Grody.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
The reason I bring it up is because before the show went live tonight, the reason we're a little bit late is because we were talking about ways we could change Everything Noob. And we're talking about making a whole lot of different changes, a whole lot of different things, kind of breaking the fourth wall. Usually we talk about gaming news or we pick a topic and we just kind of go at it. And lately we've been thinking, what could we do to improve the podcast? So before we get started tonight, do us a favor, wherever you're listening or watching, take a second. You can hit up everythingnoob.com and leave it in a comment on the podcast itself. You can go on our forums and talk about it on everythingnoob.com. Or you can just go to the YouTube video on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/enoobcast. That's the other thing. Like, everything's all mixed around with our name. But go to one of those places, leave us a comment, and say, tell us your thoughts on how we can make the show more enjoyable for you, the listener. That is how I'd like to kick us off this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been doing the show now for a couple years, and we've
Pretty
been,
mellow there.
we've been thinking about like what can we do, what would we like to change, and so far my favorite idea is what Jemmy said about the classic game segment.
Oh, yeah,
Where we go back and kind of, we've spent some time playing a classic game and then we just like hash it out on a show.
Yeah.
Kind of like a video game club.
Kind of like the angry video nerd.
No, not. I was thinking more like a
Video
book
game-
club, but
Where
with
he
video
played all
games.
No, I know, yeah.
Dreadlow's mic cut out there. He
Oh, did it?
got all jumbled
Oh.
around.
Oh, you heard that too?
Yeah.
It's not just me?
No.
Okay.
That was both of us.
Yeah. I got internet issues right now. I think it caught my cold.
I like that idea because there are so many classic games I've never played that people are like, "What's wrong with you? Why haven't you played Castlevania?" Like, yeah.
Which one? Oh, they're all so good.
None of them.
No,
I haven't played-
not all of them, but let's not talk about the 64.
Yeah.
That I actually think I did rent once. I didn't get it, and I stopped playing it.
Oh, well, yeah. I have the only one I had ever played was the 64 one. I would think those were pretty awful games too.
Yeah,
But they'd be fun to go back to and just play them and just relish in the oldness of it.
relish in the oldness, like going to Grandma's house.
Yeah. Just going to go visit Grandma for a little while.
Yeah, that's so far that's my favorite idea. But that's kind of what we're talking about. Different segments for the show. We used to do Mad Libs. What?
Oh, I just thought like we could record ourselves playing the old game and just kind of clip it together and put the clips on the YouTube channel. It's just like bonus content.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's the other thing. We just, for now, have the podcast on the YouTube channel. We were doing Machinima for a while. We've played some random games and put it on there, but all of those things kind of, come and go. So
A lot of it is schedules, like all of us have got jobs and we are busy throughout the day or different hours, and we can't get together. All three of us can't get together at something sometimes. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't, but a lot of times that's what makes it tough. We got real
Machineras are a
life.
lot of work too.
That was a ton of work. That was
really tough.
Yeah, that was like the hardest I think I've worked on any video ever.
And we did cut some corners.
Yeah, we cut a lot of corners, and we still gosh, that was crazy. A lot of fun though, and I think we'd still like to go back one day and do that.
I would love to do another one.
Yeah,
But I think we just have to schedule that and be like, from this hour to this hour, we're going to all sit down and work on it together. And whatever we get done next week. See you then.
yeah. It's been hard because I'm working 2 different jobs now, and my main job takes up 2 parts of my day. I have to go back to work after the afternoon shift.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Friday through let's see. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they're kind of random. Like Saturdays and Sundays I don't need to go in the afternoon. Thursday, every other Thursday I do all day, and Friday I do all day. Like the schedule's really random and weird and annoying, and it's that makes it really difficult. And then my second job utilizes Monday through Wednesday. So it's kind of crazy. I never know when I'm going to get a day off. I usually do, but it's just Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Maybe I get a day off.
Yeah. So I think the best thing to do in that case would be to play a game that's a classic, for example, like a single-player classic game where we don't need to all be together at the same time. We can play it on our own time throughout the week and then come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be best.
Yeah.
We can, eventually, if people, especially if we get comments, if people would leave us some feedback and let us know what they think, that would be awesome. We can use that information. But even not just old retro games or anything like that, even just the newer games, maybe we can do stuff like that with.
Yeah.
If we're all going to play it, if we all decide to play it, we can talk about it. And especially as something new comes out. We should really jump on that and all of us kind of give our own review of it or whatever.
Did I give you each a copy of Tabletop Simulator?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got it. It's been updating. It's got some really cool updates.
It's, what you can do with Tabletop Simulator? You can go into Steam Workshop and download random games. And if you can think of the board game, it's probably on Tabletop Simulator.
And you can make your own game too. You can also
Really?
play D&D on it if you like D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
love
You can.
Dungeons
It's got all
and
the
Dragons.
figurines and the maps and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah. Tabletop Simulator might be if we did get together and play something, it'd be fun to pick a board game. One that wouldn't
Saturday
be too,
night board games.
Yeah, one that wouldn't be too difficult to play.
Monopoly, or something crazy. Sorry.
Guess
How
when
about
the table
Sorry?
flip
I've
happens?
always loved-
Yeah.
Sorry is one of my favorite board games.
The problem
Play
with
till you rage.
the problem with Tabletop Simulator is imagine sitting in a room with your friends, but the only way you could play the game is by using a computer mouse. And that's how you move with your actual hand. It's literally Tabletop Simulator. It's not there's a bunch of board games in a video game. No, it's a bunch of board games in a video game that you have to play as if you're a human, moving the mouse and crap to
Right.
move stuff around. And it's there's no
Is
UI.
it a little clunky?
It's kind of you can do it depending on the game, especially. We played Stratego, and it was kind of tough because the way you set up Stratego is all the pieces are in rows, and so it's really easy to knock over all the other pieces while you're trying to move. If you don't, you have to lift it and move it. You can't just drag it. You'll just drag it through all the other pieces and ruin the game.
I'm surprised they haven't
I think they have. I think they have an undo button or something where
Oh, okay.
it should. I don't
I
know
was
if
gonna say- I was gonna say they
multiplayer would have
added-
that though.
some UI where it's it highlights it and you can just click it and then it puts it in your hand and then you just kind of click where you want to drop it.
I think if they did that, they couldn't call it simulator. Like part of the fun is the fact that
No.
just like in real life, you could
You have the option,
sneeze
though.
and yeah. It'd be nice to have the option for the purpose of actually playing a game on it. But really, I don't think I've gotten through a full game of anything with Tabletop Simulator. But maybe that's part of the charm. You know?
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
the-
actually play games.
Yeah.
Also, the physics of it. I mean, you can throw things at people, and
Get at it.
yeah.
Yeah, and you can any board game you can think of, someone's probably done it on Steam Workshop.
Oh yeah, there's thousands, literally.
Yeah. So I don't know if we did get together to do something like that. I mean, we could probably do that on Monday before the show at some point and record it for the channel,
Ooh,
you know.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah. I mean, if we talk about that as the podcast, that might be frustrating for the listener, I would think. If I was listening to a podcast like that and people were describing everything like in great detail, it'd be kind of obnoxious. Like every podcast is like that. Like, okay, so imagine this: the board is set up, and there's the king's over here.
No. That's video bonus content, like
Yeah.
fodder there, not actual.
I rolled a
podcast
double
content.
and I went twice. It's
Oh,
Yeah. Can you believe that he got 2 turns in a row? That's BS. Yeah. It wouldn't be a very interesting podcast.
yeah,
cheater!
definitely not.
But it would be cool. I mean, we have the awesome website now. We can do all kinds of stuff with. And we haven't really had any chances to do that. I haven't had time. Like, I just moved into an apartment, and things are finally starting to settle down a little bit. But I'm also looking at maybe a different job, maybe one that's less time consuming than my main one. But you never know. We'll see. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's that. Tabletop simulator videos. I don't know. I like that idea.
I do too.
Yeah, there's people who, like groups of people who have gotten together that were all like either like YouTubers or something like that, where they've done that, where they've played a game together, tabletop simulator, we're using that. So I know it's something that would be fun for people to watch.
Yeah. I just pulled up the old Mad Lib site.
Oh yeah,
Mad
remember
Libs.
those?
Oh no,
Yeah.
that old chestnut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been so long.
How's it going, Gatorama in chat? We never really talk to chat in the podcast because we're always busy talking about like news or something specific. But tonight we'll entertain you. Let's do one of these since it's like a random show and we're reflecting.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Come on. Let's
All right.
redo this.
The problem is I don't think it's been updated in a while. But
Well, then just
we barely
pick
remember.
one.
It's been years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. Just pick
So
one.
we're gonna go in order of Jemmy, then Dreadlow, and back and forth. You'll go.
All right.
So Jemmy, I need a relative. This is why we stopped doing this, by the way. Because the long,
Ethel.
awkward pauses.
Grandma Ethel.
Grandma
Ethel.
Ethel. I love that. And we're going to need 3 adjectives in a row. 1 from Dreadlow, 2 from Dreadlow, 1 from Jemmy. So Dreadlow.
Okay.
All right. How about all right, red.
Red. That is an adjective. Jemmy.
Sticky.
Sticky. Okay. And Dreadlow.
Goofy.
Goofy. Name of a person in the room from Jemmy.
Jesus.
There's no... What?
There's a picture of Jesus on the wall.
Okay. I need another... I'm going to need 2 adjectives in a row. So, Dreadlow.
All right. Bold.
Bold. Jemmy.
Metallic.
Metallic. I almost put Metallica. A verb ending in ed.
A verb ending in ed.
Like jumping.
Yeah, no, I actually was gonna say jumped. But I was gonna let's see. Let's do something different since you picked that. um um Thwarted. Is that ever yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, a body part.
Oh,
Oh, the delay in chat is making it.
foreskin.
Yes. The delay in chat is making it difficult for anyone to participate. I apologize. Well, on behalf of Twitch, I apologize. A verb ending in ing. How about
Verb ending in
since
ing, how about-
Danorama put toasted for the ed one? Why don't we do toasting?
Toasting, okay.
All right. We'll let Dredler do the next one. A noun plural.
A noun plural. How about
Yeah.
autos?
Autos. And then I just need a regular noun.
Twix,
Okay.
like the candy bar.
An adverb.
An adverb.
Mm-hmm.
That is a okay.
Don't worry, I forgot what an adverb is too.
Oh my gosh.
Forcefully. Is that that's an adverb.
Yeah. You are right. Okay, I need 2 verbs in a row.
Snap. Or
Snap.
snapping.
Snapping. All right.
Or snapped. I don't know what's going to fit.
I like snapped. Dredler?
Okay.
Ending in ed?
No, just 2 verbs. Or 1 verb, I'm sorry.
Do it.
Run.
Run. Okay. Another relative.
Cousin. Let's pick a good name here.
Enos?
Orville.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. No. We'll go with
Eunice.
no.
Eunice.
You're like totally. I had a name and it's like gone. Cousin Batman.
Cousin Batman.
Cousin
All right.
Batman.
There we go. We'll just go with Batman.
And then a
when in
person-
doubt, Batman.
And then a person in the room.
A person in the room. I would just say Dan. We're kind of in a virtual room, but
All right. Let's go mad. All right. Dear Grandma Ethel, I'm having a red time at camp. The counselor is sticky and the food is goofy. It should be switched.
yeah.
I met Jesus and we became bold friends. Unfortunately, Jesus is metallic and I thwarted my foreskin, so we couldn't go toasting like everyone else.
No.
Whoops. I need more autos and a Twix. I need more autos and a Twix sharpener. So please forcefully snap one more. Or I'm sorry. So please forcefully snapped more when you run back. Your cousin Batman, Dan. Awesome.
That's not right.
Oh man, there's one that's like really short. We can do that one real quick.
No.
No?
Sure.
I need a noun. And then a plural noun. And then another noun.
Bicycle.
Bicycle. All right, Dredler?
Another noun?
Yeah, plural.
Pencils.
Pencils. Another noun.
Lamp.
Lamp. A place, an adjective, and a noun, and that's all.
A place. Okay, so let's pick Brazil.
Brazil. An adjective.
Luminescent.
Luminescent. How nice. All right, and a noun.
Let's go with television.
All right. This one is called Be Kind. That was the last one was
Rewind?
Letter from Camp or something like that.
Yeah, we've done that one before.
Yeah.
The letter from camp.
Be kind. Be kind to your bicycle-footed pencils. For a duck may be somebody's lamp. Be kind to your pencils in Brazil, where the weather is always luminescent. You may think that this is the television. Well, it is. It was dumb.
Wow.
That's the other reason we stopped
No.
doing these. Because whoever was
Yeah,
submitting
we
them
ran
was
out
of the-
drunk.
We ran out of good ones.
That
These
was
are
pretty bad.
some of these are user submitted. So
Yeah.
I think
Well,
most
that
of them
one
probably
obviously was.
are. I saw a news story. Small one, I guess we could talk about, but none
That's
of
a
us-
hard transition there.
Yeah, none of
Yeah.
us have played WoW in a while. But I guess the bot system Honor Buddy has been detected, and
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
yeah, and they're calling it quits. Apparently,
Honor
Yeah.
Buddy. What is it?
Honor Buddy. It's a system where you hook it up to your WoW account and it runs it for you. It's just a bot that. Probably just
Oh, I
grinds all
thought
day.
they found those a long time ago.
Apparently
they
this
did-
one's recent.
How many? Like over 1 million or something?
It was
People have gotten
several
banned?
100,000.
700,000 got
over
banned.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they went through, did the ban hammer thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Though.
well,
You know,
they
those
wanted
people
to,
didn't actually earn it, so you should be banned.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the rules you agree to when you started playing a game. I just know that like my experience with bots was RuneScape, and it was the same kind of thing where RuneScape would be out there looking for the sites that were like selling these bots and stuff, and they would constantly be banning accounts, all this stuff.
remember when we played and you had me download this mod or whatever, and it allowed you to do to broadcast or kind of like spam that you're selling something or buying something.
Oh, that they actually allow.
Yeah, but I was banned.
Oh, well, maybe not so much.
And it was a permanent
Ouch.
ban. I tried to contact them. They never contacted me back. So that account's dead. But it didn't matter anyway. I didn't do anything on it.
Yeah.
Well,
So just make a new one.
Auto typers have been around for a while, and people, you'll be hard pressed to find someone not using an auto typer in a trading world in RuneScape because
Well, I think what I did.
everyone
what I
does it, so
did-
you have to do it to compete.
Yeah, but what I did is after we played that, because that was in Classic or whatever, or
Yeah,
Legacy,
old school.
I went ahead and logged in with that same account into the new version. And I think that's what happened is I still had the mod activated or something, or
Huh?
I'm not sure what happened, but somehow a year later, I decided to try to log in and said I was permanently banned.
oops.
Wow.
Who knows?
I mean, I think even in the new version of RuneScape, people still use that, but I could be wrong. I haven't really played the new version because it just got. I took the longest break ever from it, and then they changed the game so much that even if I went back to play what I once knew as that version of RuneScape, it wasn't. It just isn't the same. Like, I don't like what they did with the graphics. I mean, the actual graphics of the game look nice. I don't like what they did with the items in your inventory. Like, they just don't look right. Like something I can't tell the difference between
Kind of
like,
cartoonish, huh?
well, not cartoonish enough. Like they tried to make it look real almost.
Oh,
Uh,
I see what you mean.
And
Yeah.
it like I can't tell the difference between like an iron pickaxe and a rune pickaxe because they made the pickaxes look so weird, and I don't know. It just frustrated me, and I just stopped. I'm just like, ugh.
Is it because it doesn't match the art style of the rest of the game?
It really doesn't. Because when you hold it, it looks fancy. Like in your inventory, it looks just like a poorly drawn piece of crap. Like
Well, I heard
tried
what they
too
started
hard.
to do though. What they'd started to do though is they've added features in there where you could like you get the ultimate armor or whatever in the game, and you're playing the new game, but you want the old look. you can actually get the legacy skin for that armor in the new game. So I don't know if they did that with the icons and things like that, but wouldn't surprise me if they have. Well, they're really trying to push the new version, and so they notice that people are all going after the legacy one, and they don't want to change their system, but at the same time they don't want to lose all those players. So they're hoping that stuff like that will bring them back. Who knows?
I can't find it now, but I actually looked at old school. You know what? I do remember what it was. Old school RuneScape never had the Grand Exchange. They started the game out in like the 2007 version, and what they've been doing to improve the game is letting the community vote on the next updates. And the updates, like the game is kind of trailing off in another direction from where RuneScape went. Because they realized they made a mistake somewhere along the line. So they took one of the years that they were doing very well, and they started the game over. Thought, great idea. And a lot of people went back. Even though the graphics were crap and the screen was really tiny and all this stuff, people went back. And I even went back for a bit. I didn't like the fact that I had to start all over again, but I played. And I was voting on those polls, and the polls need to reach, like, I think 75 to 80% yes votes before something new gets added. It's not like a 51% majority. It has to be almost unanimous.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. And what they ended up doing, unless they changed their minds, which I doubt, is they either are going to or they added the Grand Exchange back into RuneScape. And the reason I don't like this is because the Grand Exchange came around. Here's some RuneScape history for you. For those of you who give a crap about this old RPG. When RuneScape had a big problem with free trade and people buying money for buying gold for real money, they decided to intervene by going, hey, no more free trade. In fact, you can barely trade at all. So we're going to add this Grand Exchange. And now every item became like a stock market thing. So you could sell an item in the Grand Exchange for a set price, and you could set it was a little bit of flexibility, like high, mid, low. That was it. And each item had this. So I made the most money I ever made in RuneScape with Grand Exchange. Because I sucked at like free trade, But I would buy low, I'd watch the graph kind of do its thing, and then once it started to go back up, I'd sell high. Because the demand was going up for that particular item. A lot of the times they were like crafted items and stuff. This went on for a while, then they added free trade back into the game we now know as like RuneScape 3, and then they kept the Grand Exchange. I don't like it. It just doesn't feel the same, They should have just gotten rid of that. It was only added to like soften the blow, really, and make trading more interesting. So, I don't know.
Well,
that's just my opinion, but now they're putting it back in old school RuneScape, which wasn't supposed to have the Grand Exchange.
Yeah, but if people voted on it, they obviously wanted it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I know that like my one vote against it probably wouldn't have done anything. Maybe they're doing, I don't know, maybe it's worth checking out again. Maybe the high-low price thing isn't that big of a deal. Maybe it's just because I'm lazy. I don't like having to make up a price and hope that it does well, and read the graph and watch it kind of fluctuate based on a price I set. I'd rather, which is probably more realistic, but I'd rather.
I'm just gonna tell you, any MMO I've played, the more stock markety the auction or market board or whatever system is, the more people love it.
Yes.
And if you're good at it, you make tons of in-game currency.
Yes.
If you're bad at it, you lose so much money.
I was getting really good at it. I had a friend who I've lost touch with him now, but he taught me everything I know about how that used to work. And man, I made so much in-game money. I was rolling in it.
RuneScape is really a cool game. I mean, it was one of the first ones that really had the kind of skill bases, where you got to skill up everything. The thing that really bothered me about the game was I'd go into game and there would be literally thousands of campfires all over the place because somebody's leveling up their campfire skills. Or, and it's just like things like that.
Dropping logs.
I literally watched somebody on Twitch was playing RuneScape, And I thought, RuneScape, I wonder what's going on with this. To see, they had like literally like a couple hundred people watching them, at this point. And they were just sitting there talking to the chat and just continually clicking in their inventory on this thing because they're doing, and it's like, that's it. They never moved. Nothing happened in the game. They're just busy talking to their audience and clicking and clicking. And that's all they did through the whole freaking game for like several minutes. Finally, I just said, you know what? I can't watch this anymore. But those are the only things that bother me about the game. Otherwise, the game is pretty cool. I mean, it's one of the more, it's a classic.
It takes grinding in an MMO and makes it even more boring than you know it as now. I mean, it's just what it did and the way you controlled it. And even to this day, you still can't free move. You have to click to move. And those things frustrate me. I figured by the time we saw RuneScape 3, if we ever saw RuneScape 3, we'd be able to freely move around the map using our arrow keys like a modern MMO. And instead, they just spruced up the graphics. They did a good job. And it's still click to move. And it still feels like, I don't know. It looks like they just put a fresh coat of paint on an otherwise outdated
they
game.
really do that in a browser game, though?
Well, they switched to HTML5 for coding it. They recoded the whole thing.
Yeah,
and there's full 3D games using HTML5 now. So, yeah, it is possible.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know much about code, but I would imagine if you're going to recode the game, if you're going to bother doing that, why not make some legit improvements?
Yes, but you also have to think they have this already ingrained player base, and they all use point to click. And if you don't feel like that's a problem for your audience, you're not going to change that.
Yeah,
because then you're like alienating them.
Like we were talking about Heroes of the Storm earlier. It's very similar to League of Legends. You don't like the fact that you click on the ground to walk to run, but that's kind of a genre. It's part of the game. It's something that people they like that. And so for them to change it and make it so you can use arrow keys, it wouldn't be the same game. It would be, probably.
But the same game isn't making them money anymore. That's kind of my argument.
League of Legends is, and it's like it's a click to click
League of Legends is a lot newer than RuneScape. I mean, I'm saying RuneScape is
trying
old.
to be like it's trying to be like an MMO type thing. It should obviously, evolve into that.
Yes.
Which I understand, yeah.
RuneScape 3 already screwed up. A lot of the classic players, the ones playing RuneScape old school right now, are not ever going to go back to the other version because it just had so many updates and it just became this totally different experience for them. If you've already lost those people, why not really change it up? Why not do something to make the game more modern in those ways?
I just feel like you'd be losing a lot of your core RuneScape players because using the keyboard and stuff would alienate them because the mouse system makes games accessible for people who are kind of standoffish about PCs and aren't very comfortable with the keyboard. They type like raptors.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. I guess I still think I would have used it as an opportunity to address the new MMO market and kind of said, all right, you know what, old RuneScape fans, you have old RuneScape back. We're going to take this game and do something different because we need to do something different. Now they're just making a whole new game. Like they're doing a couple different things. Jagex.
That's probably the way to go.
Yeah.
Just make a whole new game and rename it and, from the makers of RuneScape.
Yes.
Just...
That's kind of what they're doing. Thing. I mean, as a company, it looks like they're still doing okay. They have job listings on their website.
Are the original owners still own Jagex?
I don't know.
I think wasn't it just like two college kids that started the whole thing?
There's a lot of people in the company now.
Yeah, so it's a huge company now.
Block and Load is their next thing. It's like a shooter.
Oh.
Yeah, and then there's Chronicle RuneScape Legends, a unique collectible card game. So it's probably like Hearthstone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
they gotta have their Hearthstone too.
That's kind of what they're doing. I mean, I've been thinking about RuneScape again, and that's why I looked on their classic thing again. I'm like, I was playing Classic. And when I saw the Grand Exchange and I realized I don't have time anyway, I'm like, meh. I'll just pass again. But yeah, that was just it's my first MMO. I always find myself going back to it, like fondly remembering it. And when 2007's Old School came out, I was like, huh, and it was just hard to play it because of restarting. I put so many years into that other character and I wasn't very good at it, granted, and I could get those levels a lot faster than I could back then. But even so, it's just I have a character that's done all this stuff already, and I got to redo all these quests, and I got to redo all these things. There's like side quests and things to unlock different areas in the map, and it's like I don't want to do all that again.
And then they got areas locked unless you're premium.
That too. Yep.
Yeah. But another thing that really bothered me was, and I know what they're doing now. I didn't know it back then, but I know what they're doing. They're doing stuff like leveling up something. But there's a water fountain. I guess it's a spawn point or whatever, and there's just hundreds of little avatars just surrounding this thing and just standing there, not doing anything. Just hundreds of people there, and you're like, what are they doing? How come they're not playing the game? I don't understand.
People like to idle
now
online.
I can understand. It's crazy. It's really bizarre.
Logging out is for casuals.
But it's the same thing in World of Warcraft, I guess. Everybody kind of hangs out in the city and just kind of kicks it right there. But a lot of those people are waiting for queues in instances and things like that. So they just go to the town, they wait till their queue, and then they go.
It's funny you mentioned instances too, because another thing RuneScape did wrong, a thing that lost me when I took a big break again, is they kept teasing all these new skills that they were going to keep adding over the course of X amount of months, maybe even years. And we waited and waited for the next new skill announcement, and finally they announced Dungeoneering. And I'm sorry for hitting my mic. Dungeoneering is their answer to World of Warcraft type instances, where you go in with a group of friends and you just kind of go through these dungeons. And it was done so poorly that people just bashed the hell out of it. Like, there was a really small group of people that enjoyed it, and what really pissed people off is something, it kind of pissed me off too, to be honest, but it's so little and dumb. All the level caps were 99 on every single skill except for Dungeoneering, which went up to 120. And
people, that would have drove me nuts.
Yeah, people were like, what the hell is going on? Why?
Unless they were like, don't worry, guys. We're going to bring the others up to 122, but we're going to do it out in like patches, and because we just need to balance things.
Yeah.
Like, I would have forgiven. I was like, I'll just deal with it until they fix it.
Aren't you only allowed a certain number of like skill points to put into things, so you can't level everything?
No. You can level everything.
You can?
Yeah.
There was a game that I don't know what game it was, but there was a game where you were given a certain amount of skill points that maxes you out, and you can only apply those points to, if you want to max out certain skills, you use all your points. That's it.
Most MMOs?
Yeah.
You can't max out.
A lot of MMOs with skill points.
Yeah, but this is more like RuneScape, where, I mean, the skills were 999 skill points or whatever. It was one of those type of things where it had a lot of skill points, but you were maxed out, and once you used up all those skill points, you were stuck like as a carpenter or whatever,
Yeah. Well, it's not like that in RuneScape. You can just do whatever you want, but yeah, Dungeoneering sucked. Like, it wasn't even fun to play, and they treated it was like a mini game. And I think where they went wrong is trying to make it a skill. I don't think you needed a skill. I think you needed a mini game.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That you could have had the mini game level up people's other skills naturally, but
that would have been better.
Yeah, they tried to base the more difficult dungeons on your Dungeoneering skill level, but what was really confusing about it was the fact that, let's say you have 99 strength, attack, and defense, and you're like stacked. You're a badass. You have to start all the way at the bottom at Dungeoneering, and you'll get through them faster, but the fact of the matter is you still have to go through all these really easy, stupid dungeons and to get your dungeoneering level up higher so it matches your combat levels. And that bugged a lot of people too, I think.
They couldn't just skip the early stuff
No,
and go to something closer to their level.
that they will never give you free levels in RuneScape. Like
No, not that you would get free levels, but like, oh, your combat skill's really high, so you can choose a more challenging dungeon and kind of like quickly go through it, or just at least has something more on your skill level while you're leveling dungeoneering.
It might have been. I don't know. I wasn't that high of a level, so I can't, like when I started dungeoneering, so I can't really remember. But I know, like at first, like the monsters weren't that hard. So I don't know. Maybe they changed it in the future. There's been so many updates now, so I don't want to speak like I'm an expert in it now.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why everybody's leveling up campfires, because that helps them get into dungeons.
We've discovered the reason why there's so many.
Somebody's got to light the way.
I don't understand why so many people do to campfires.
It's a breadcrumb trail, so you know where you came from.
Oh, it's just crazy. I don't have to put a campfire down. If I need one, I just use what's there.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what was funny. Like, they introduced the fire making skill. It's like, you need this for cooking in the field. And you're like, great. And then you go in the game, and the first thing you see is someone lighting fires in front of you. And you're like, I guess I don't need the campfire skill.
there's like 100, but they lay them out in a line. Like,
yeah.
you know, like it's a big grid of campfires. It's funny.
Yeah.
For the longest time, that's all that skill was good for, was making campfires faster and using different kinds of wood to do it. And finally, they started, like, people were like, there's nothing to do in this skill. Like, why do we have this skill? Why is this a skill? And so they made, like, it started out as a quest where you light these beacons, but your fire making skill needs to be at a certain level to light the more advanced beacons. I don't know, like you just light this beacon and you get something when you light it. It's like an achievement kind of system. So I don't know. And then you use those beacons in like some kind of mini game. It was weird. Like everything they've done since, I don't know, even before 2007. It's just they made it so weird. Like it's clear to me that they have ideas, but they still try to take their new ideas and put them into an old game. It's like,
yeah, they're limited by their system.
Yeah, why not just make a new freaking game? Still call
Well,
it
aren't they
RuneScape,
doing
just
that?
make it new. You know, honestly, I haven't kept up. I know they made Block and Load. They're really proud of that.
There's a lot of trolls in that game too.
Oh.
I mean, I remember one time you were playing and you were trying to collect shells or something from a beach, and some guy is planting these stupid guns or bomb things and was blowing them all up before you can get them.
That was trying.
And there
to
was
kill...
no reason. There was no quest or nothing for them. They don't get any skill or nothing for it.
No, it's
I
all
guess they get
you
the
do.
skill.
It's rock crabs. Rock crabs are they don't hit very hard, and they're tough, like because they're made of rocks. So
you bomb.
People use them to level up their strength and defense and all that stuff. So you can also use them for ranging. And the easiest way to level up ranging is to get to like, I think 55 or so, which isn't that hard. And then you can get a dwarf cannon. And they're expensive because you got to buy cannonballs for the dwarf cannon. But if you have the funds, you can do it. And I actually did have the funds for a while, so I leveled my ranging skill up by getting a dwarf cannon. And it's awesome. Like, and it doesn't take that long. But the fact that everyone knows that's how you level range is, even if, let's say a guy gets to level 99 ranging and he's, he goes away, there's going to be 100 more people trying to do that. So it takes so damn long still, even with the dwarf cannon. So people just stand there at the rock crabs, set up their cannon, and no one can kill any rock crabs.
Yep.
And that's another problem with that game, is when it was popular, it was impossible to do anything. Because it was just overpopulated. And they kept adding servers, and then they'd fill up, because people would just go to like the popular spot on the map. Like the rest, you could have a brand new server that no one's playing on, and the few people that are using it are still in those, congested areas.
Well, that means they've bottlenecked everything you can do to one remote location.
Yeah.
Instead of offering 2 or 3 places where it might be a choice.
It's 2 or 3 max usually in that game. Like they'll offer 2 to 3 places max. Usually just one place to do a certain thing, and it gets really congested. And like different enemies have different things, different rewards, and different skill sets. So people discovered the rock crabs, and that was it. There's only one, maybe two places to kill rock crabs, and people bring their cannons there, and nobody gets rock crabs. Sorry. Freaking.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd drop something so I could open up a seafood restaurant with all the stuff the canon people weren't picking up.
Yeah.
Do you think those
That's
canon
another
people were
thing.
botting that?
You can bot that, but it would be kind of stupid because all you have to do every few minutes is fill the cannon back up, and it will still go. So,
Oh.
yeah, it's
I bet somebody did bot that.
it's
reload.
overpowered. I'm sure they did. It's overpowered. Like you could sit there doing your homework, look up, and go, "Oh, I need to fill my cannon." You fill it up.
Well,
with
you could do that
cannonballs
really
and-
with any of the skills, though. I mean, like campfires. I know I'm stuck on campfires, but
Well, you
I
have
think
to
it's the funniest
constantly
one
click.
of all.
You have to constantly click for campfires. For
Yeah,
the-
like I
the-
said, this girl's sitting there and she's playing on Twitch and she's sitting there and she's just clicking in her inventory and 100, 200 people watching her. And she's talking to everybody. And she's not doing anything in the game. It's not her fault. The game is just, it's the game. She's got a skill, right?
She has to click each log and click the tinderbox. With the cannons, you just fill it up and then you can stare at it. You don't have to click anything.
Yeah, and so that's what she was doing.
Boring.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see how you can stream that. It's an impossible stream.
Well,
it
no,
takes
you
a very
could, but
interesting person. You have to have things to say.
Yeah, exactly.
here's this thing I'm grinding. I'm just going to tell you a story, and you're not really going to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, we played RuneScape a little bit, myself and my friend 8Craft. We played some RuneScape. And the stream, usually the RuneScape community on Twitch is really nice. Like, they kept coming up to us and giving us stuff. Like, people just gave me a whole bunch of money, and they're like, good luck getting 99 thieving. Hope you don't quit. I'm like, me too. And I quit.
Shame on you!
Yeah, I know. But it was starting to get tough for both of us to, like, sit down and stream the game. And I mean, after you get to those later levels, it just gets so hard to go on. Oh my gosh.
And then you get those streamers who are on there and they're streaming and they get this person comes up and says, hey, if you shave your eyebrows on stream, I'll give you 1,000,000 gold.
I don't believe you.
They go, okay, and they get it all set up and they got the trade going and everything, and they shave their eyebrows.
Oh my
And then when
God.
they're done shaving their eyebrows, they go, okay, I did it. Give me my gold. He goes, oh, I was just kidding. He exits out. Guy's got shaved eyebrows, didn't get 1,000,000 gold.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I would not shave my eyebrows for 1,000,000 anything in any game.
No.
Like, it really isn't. In games, usually that's really not a lot of currency.
In that game, it could get you a
Oh,
few things, but yeah, it's not worth shaving your eyebrows over. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, my eyebrows, maybe
Don't fall for
no
it.
one would notice, but
I mean, we could just draw them back on, I suppose.
oh my god, yeah, I just get some brown, like, what is it, Crayola markers and just,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe if
eyebrows,
you're feeling fancy, just curl them a little and just like, do some little, like, paisley designs there.
eyebrows take like the longest to grow back. I think it's like 6 months or something.
No.
Something
No.
crazy.
No.
I heard it was crazy. Maybe it feels long because you don't have eyebrows and everyone's looking at you funny.
This
I
could
was
be
going to
it.
say, probably, 2 weeks to 4 weeks to get your eyebrows back?
Mine are bushy, but I'm scared to like
From
trim 'em 'cause-
shaved, it's got to be like 2 weeks.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to test it because no one's offering me 1,000,000 gold right now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
$1 million donation. He will shave his eyebrows.
we've trailed off our no topic show. There's a bunch of people just joined us in chat recently. Just real quick to you guys, we're talking about changes we're going to make to the podcast coming up here in future episodes. So perhaps after the show, hit up our YouTube channel, hit up our website, everythingnoob.com, leave some comments. Things you think we could add or do to change the show and make it more awesome. So far we've discussed playing classic games and doing like a segment about it. Like every week we play a classic game and come back and talk about it. And we've talked about just segments in general, really. Like different things we could do. Still talk about the news in one part of the show. stuff like that.
Yeah, like a worm has segments.
I was
Or
just
an onion has layers.
yes.
There you go.
I was just
We're
offered,
layering and segmenting in the show.
Oh my god, let me tell you about this. So, you know how you buy a box cake and you have round cake pans and you do 2 layers?
Yeah.
I got a 1-layer cake because intern was like, I'm gonna bake you a cake, and he poured the whole box in one of those little round tins, and it was muffin shaped.
He needs to level up his caking skills.
He does. He needs to drop more cakes on the
He needs to
table.
drop more cakes on the table and level that skill up.
And I will take that
Yes.
to level my thieving.
Well, we want more layers than that cake had in this podcast.
Yes.
More layers.
I was just offered
It was a good cake,
100,000.
though.
I was offered 100,000 APB dollars to shave my eyebrows.
It's been a while since we played that one.
Yeah, now we have Grand Theft Auto 5. We don't need that game.
Ooh, I need to play Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been a while since I've been on there.
Yeah, same
Admit
here.
it.
Same here. The move has kind of made it difficult for me to get back into it.
Yeah.
But now,
Well,
with,
my voice is starting to go again.
there you go.
Oh no.
Just in time for
Yeah.
the end of the show.
Exactly.
Now that I have this new setup, I'm using my my laptop in the living room hooked to the TV and streaming whatever games from Steam I want onto that and playing with a controller. So it's a lot of fun. I love technology. But the downside is I can't use this mic if I want to play in the living room. So
Can't
record-
really record from the living room.
Yeah. Yeah. if
I
wanna record
can.
it. You-
Because everything's in the living room.
Everything's in the living room.
Well, you see, you could do what I do. I have a giant TV right in front of me. That's my computer.
Oh, yeah, brag more.
HDMI cable right to my computer.
What's the inches?
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's huge. I don't know, like
20?
more than that, like 32 inches, 40-inch TV. It's huge. It's like, well, I can't really.
He puts his arms closer together to get him in
I
frame.
know. It's like
It's so huge, guys. So huge.
It's a widescreen HDMI TV, so it's got to be, obviously it's HD, so it's got to be over 720p, so it's got to be. Well, I guess 720p can be small.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
I really don't know. I bought it from my boss at work, and told him I can use that for my computer. So he sold it to me. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a Vizio. I'll have to measure it.
Nothing
You
you're
could just
telling
look up
us.
the model number.
Oh, I could. I could do that right now.
Just
Wait a minute.
go ahead and Google.
There's
the
no model number on it.
There's
I'm
much of
sure
anything
there's a
on there.
sticker somewhere that has model number.
Yeah, take it off the wall. Look in the back. It's probably there.
No.
I'm
it's
sure
right
that'd be
here.
convenient.
It's the where's that? It's not listed there. It's a sound device.
Well, anyway.
Okay.
What before we go?
VO 32. It's probably a 32 inch because of 320e. So I'm guessing 32 inch. They usually put the model number in there with the size, right?
I mean, not
Sometimes.
Sometimes no.
VO 320e.
I was going to say before we end the show, we should talk about the classic game we want to play, since we're all pretty much decided we want to do that.
Yes, it's a
Do what
32
now?
inch.
Or not.
It is a 32
Jeez.
inch. There it is.
That looks really absurdly long. Just
It's huge. I love it. Man, I see
All
my
these
stuff.
things you're saying? That's what she said.
it's like just no, but it looks like too squat for what it is.
That's what she said too.
I don't know.
And then you get an Xbox controller and you plug it into your USB port and you got yourself a controller. And you have your mic
Is
right
that what
there.
you have with when you play?
Yeah.
I don't know what
controller?
classic game. Like I haven't thought about any in a while. Should we think about it for the week and then reconvene next week.
No,
and then start...
we want our viewers to play with us. Yay!
No, that's what I meant. Like, announce it next week, and then the week after that,
what am I supposed to play all week?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
But classic.
Get into Hearthstone and play it. I think you'll like it.
It's
Like,
huge.
I
love
can't
it.
come up with a classic game just like out of my butt.
I'm thinking N64 something or other. Anything from the N64 era that you want to play again or wish you did play?
Pokemon Snap.
God damn. Hate that game.
I know.
What was the game I played on there? Whatever happened
Help
to
us out, chat. What do you think?
Whatever happened to Shadowgate? Did that ever come out?
Shadowgate. No, I don't think the new Shadowgate has come out, but yeah, Shadowgate 64 was good. I don't think Vortak would like that though. I feel like he would rage at that game.
That was such a good game.
Mystical Ninja Legend of Gomon. What's that?
Oh my god, yes! Yes! I love it. It's like an adventure game.
Okay.
Like action adventure.
Should we get our hands on that then?
Yes.
Mystical Ninja Legend of Gomon. Okay, we'll look it up.
All right. It's settled. So next week's show, we still don't know what the whole thing's going to be, but there will be a good portion of it dedicated to discussing Mystical Ninja Legend of Gomon for N64. So if you have this game or have a way of obtaining this game somehow through means we don't need to know about, then go ahead and play it. Come back next week. We're going to have a discussion about it. So there you go. That's the direction we're taking this crazy train known as Everything Noob. Everyone's silently searching for this game now.
Crazy train. Well, no, I'm trying to copy from chat, but I can't.
No, I'm making a note of what game it is, so when I go to get it, I remember.
I'm just
going to
put it in the show notes, which you guys all have access to. And that way...
Okay. Well,
that
then,
makes it much more
go.
difficult, though. We don't want difficult. We want to make it easy.
I'll put it in bold. It doesn't get easier than that.
Oh, jeez. Bold. Can I get it italicized?
Yes, you can. There we go.
Ah!
There we go.
Can we make it a different color, too? No, I was kidding.
I want rainbow font.
I can't do rainbow font. I can do red.
You could do rainbow. It would just be tedious.
Yeah, it would be. It would be tedious. And we have to end the
Each
show,
letter.
and no one can see anyway. Fine, I'll make the word legend purple. There you go. Now you'll be confused when you read it later. Like, why is legend purple? I don't have that edition. I don't have purple legend edition.
Purple Legend Edition.
So, yes, Mystical Ninja Legend of Gomon. I'm glad you suggested this because I've never even heard of it. And I'm excited to play a game I haven't heard of because I guess I was what do you call it? An N64 player that was sheltered. I didn't get to play all the things.
You'll probably like this one.
All right.
Or you'll be just like the whole time, what is this? What is going on? What is this?
Even better. That makes for good television. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Everything New podcast. Exciting things ahead. Like we said, if you have other things you think we could do to make the show more interesting for you, the listener, let us know in the comments of wherever you're watching or listening. YouTube and everythingnoob.com are the best ways to do that. And, yeah, or you could just email us, enoobmailbox@gmail.com. You can also call in on the show. All that info is on everythingnoob.com. You could tell us there. In fact, if you play this game on the N64 and you want to have your input, your favorite part of the game, leave us a voice message. It's on the website, very easy to do, and you could be on the show. There you go. Motivation, incentive. Do it.
There you go.
All right. We'll see you guys next week with another edition of the Everything Noob podcast.
Awesome games you've...
Nope. That wasn't it.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Everything Noob podcast. Hit up everythingnoob.com for our show notes, blogs, YouTube and Twitch channels, previous episodes, and even a t-shirt store. Please game responsibly, and we'll see you next week.